What's up, Impact Wrestling fans, and anybody else who might have clicked on this by mistake? I'm back again. My name is Jay. I'm your co host here with Gary, the Horror King. We'll get to Gary in a second there. I just want to start off. We are going to very quickly, say 2, 3 minutes, trying something new here. Just run down the show, the main points, and then we're going to do a longer review for people who like that kind of thing. So, the main part, main thing here is the main event for Slammiversary was set after the gauntlet match. Eric Young got the win. What do you think, Gary?
Well, it doesn't really surprise me, to be fair, because they said Eric Young's currently, in his history, he's won a title at least 13 times in TNA history. So I think it makes a lot of sense. It's an old lion and a younger lion who's really hungry to keep defending his title for all of his fan base. And I really like the booking of the two. I think it's going to be a really good match. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I love it. First off, I love Eric Young. He's one of my all-time favorites. I probably don't say it enough, but like he does comedy. He does, I'm a killer, like the crazy person. Like he could do anything. Like he's a believable main event champ because he was a champ. He had that really great run. Remember that with he was
Oh
they
yeah, people were comparing it to Daniel Bryan's run.
just gonna say that. Yeah, totally. And I mean, kind of. I could see little
Yeah,
things in it, but
yeah,
either
I
way,
see the
they were
similar.
both. But either they were both cool. He was a great champ, and he's believable. I don't think he's gonna win it, but it'll be a great match, I'm sure, with Josh. So yeah, I'm excited for that. And another big thing was they announced the first ever Queen of the Mountain match, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan of the King of the Mountain match, but I always was like, it was one of those things where it was like kind of like an interesting mess. I don't know. What do you think? Are you a fan of those?
I don't know. I like the what was it, the X thing that we did with the girls,
Yeah,
but I kind of
Ultimate
feel
X.
like that was we didn't really have a few, as Jeff or Matt Hardy would say, enough spot monkeying for
Yeah,
my taste, and we had very limited, girls that have that ability. Now, if we were to hire, maybe bring out in some ones that were like a little bit more, athletic, I think that would the king of the or queen of the mountain match would be that much more interesting. But in the currents, I don't know. I just don't know if I mean I know Jordan Grace can wrestle the best of the queens of Impact, but I just don't know if she can kind of like live up to the way the old King of the Mountains were for the men, back
yeah.
yesteryear from
See,
TNA.
yes, yeah. I didn't watch them when they were good. I guess they started out when they were kind of. There was some good
Yeah,
ones early on. Like I don't know. I guess I caught like the last few that they were kind of a mess. So, but I mean, I did go back. I've seen a bunch of good ones. It's an interesting match. Do they still have the what the hell is it called? The
all the
penalty, the penalty box. Is that
I don't know if that's what they're going to be doing for the girls. I do
the
know that it's the first time in their history, so I have no idea what if there's going to be some tweaks to that to make it go a little smoother for the pay per view.
Yeah, I mentioned. Well, I mean, Tasha's a hell of a wrestler. She's in it as the champ. She will have to defend, which a little bit unfair, I must say. But got to do that when you're a heel sometimes. And there's a reason for, which we'll get into. But also Chelsea, Jordan, Deanna, and Mia Yim. So I mean, those are all like really good wrestlers. Like you mentioned before with the Ultimate X, Deanna was, I think she was champ, or for some reason she wasn't. She couldn't be in the Ultimate X. And I
Yeah,
thought that sucked. And like Mia Yim, I mean, if you threw Deanna and Mia Yim in that match, I think it would have been like a lot better.
yeah, and with this current taping, I don't mean to go off key here with what I'm saying, but it just kind of felt like the tapings of this set was a little off for me. I don't know, at least so far. I don't know how next week's card's going to turn out, but so far I haven't really liked the build with the Queen of the Mountain, other than they announced it.
Well, just for anyone who's about to tune out, damn good show overall, and you should check it out. And now we're going to get into pretty much everything. Okay, so opening the show was a hell of a match between nice back and forth. I don't time these things. I would guess this was around 10 though, with Chris Bay and Kenny King.
Oh yeah, yeah. I guess it was. I didn't know it prior that he was ever his mentor. I guess he taught Chris Bay how to wrestle or trained him to become a wrestler.
Yeah, they mentioned him and someone else. That's a cool little story there, and it helps.
Yeah, and what did they say too? That trying to think what he. Oh, they said they give a little bit of background on Chris Bay too about him actually being a fan of the sport and becoming a wrestler. Like sometimes kids don't always go, take to wrestling. They just like the way it looks. He's a big fan of wrestling, and he became he lived his dream, if you will.
Marie was kind of, well, not kind of, she was bashing him a bit. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah. I like some of the bickering that goes on in the commentary now. I kind of like that. Matthew Raywall, is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah.
He kind of comes off.
Never pronounced that.
Like Jesse Ventura a little bit, like the heel.
Yeah, I think he's getting like better. That. I love Hannafan. I think he's great.
Oh yeah, he's really good. Yeah.
And like I said, Maria, really good. She's just really good at a friggin', no matter where she is, she's just really good at her job. The whole whatever, being the manager and annoying heel, but the hot heel and whatever. I've got a note here. I noticed some Honor No More shirts in the crowd, which is a really good sign because I usually don't notice that many Impact shirts in the crowd.
Yeah, I know they hadn't had that shirt for very long. I think it was like either this taping or last taping is when it first started getting sold at their booth or whatever for merch.
Yeah.
And I think it, with it being a top storyline with them and Bullet Club, I think, you kind of pick a side. And I mean, obviously there's going to be more Bullet Club fans than Honor No More, but there's still a good amount of people supporting Honor No More because of the different, the individuals that make up the team.
Yeah, I thought it was nice to see. And it's a cool shirt. So if I didn't mention it there, Chris Bay got the win, but Kenny King will move on. I'm sorry, Kenny King got the win, and we'll move on to the Ultimate X at Slammiversary. And I'm all right with this. I hate when Bay loses, but I did like the whole story that, the teacher kind of being the student.
And the thing I noticed with Kenny, he looked a little rusty on some of his moves. I noticed that, like the time off, like maybe the time off from Ring of Honor to Impact, the time away. I mean, he looked really solid in the match. I'm not saying that. I mean, he could do stuff that, about probably a third of wrestling can do. But, he just looked kind of, like some of the things that weren't as crisp as they were, say, Ring of Honor days,
Yeah, there's probably a lot of guys like that just haven't wrestled enough lately because of the Ring of Honor. We're not a business.
I just noticed that is all.
Yeah. Or sorry, since Tony bought Ring of Honor, whatever the hell that means. Since
did you see that? I don't mean to change the subject, but did you see that really lame?
Oh yeah, just awful.
Lame logo that he trademarked. It's like even further slapping the Ring of Honor fan base from a ways back.
Yeah, and I've been seeing some Ring of Honor fans talking nicely about Impact, which is cool to see. And I was kind of wondering where those people were. Like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like if I was a Ring of Honor fan, I would be interested in what's going on with the Impact thing, because I don't know if it's not like they're following the Ring of Honor storylines, but I mean, it's more than having Samoa Joe champ just like kind of out of nowhere.
Well, I can't believe how big of a how much over PCO is. I figured he'd be over pretty good, but he's exceeding my, what I see everywhere they go. They're like, he's not human, like it's like kind of like takes you back to the Impact Zone in Florida when they actually got into their wrestlers,
Yeah, I probably said this before, but I would put him with Rosemary, at the very least, put them on the cover of like the things you're trying to sell. Like they stand out so much.
Oh yeah.
I mean? Like nobody looks like either one of them. Like if you want to look different, then what I mean? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think that a lot of people don't like that scary theatric stuff, but I'm sorry, I love it. I'm being a horror fan. I love it. I miss the days where Abyss would come down. The pyro would go off. I think we need to get that, kind of try to get that incorporated into the shows to get them a little bit more snappiness to to get the show going. It's not big expense. It's just little, theatrics that can make a difference for a show.
Yeah, kind of stuff like Rosemary, but better
Yeah.
and scarier. Yeah. So next up, there was a Impact Knockout Tag Team. It was a title. This was a title match. Not sure how Alicia Edwards and Giselle Shaw got a title match, but maybe I missed something.
I think maybe the week before, I think Giselle Shaw defeated her, and then that qualified them for a tag team. I don't tag team title match, I guess.
Giselle,
I want to say that's what happened.
Giselle beat either Madison or Tennille.
Yeah, she pinned Madison.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, this is all right. Nothing special. I wouldn't say go out everywhere to watch this, but I definitely thought Team Shaw was losing, but I guess they. Oh, I'm sorry, this was a title match. What the hell am I thinking? Yeah, no, there was no way they were winning here. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Giselle losing. I mean, depending on what they're planning on doing with her, unless it's blaming. Eddie's wife, blanking on the name.
Oh, Alicia.
Yeah,
Alicia.
Yeah, unless she blames Alicia, that could.
Not Alicia with an IA.
Yeah, she could blame Alicia. That's a story that makes sense.
Yeah, I've noticed some people I've noticed though have gotten really behind Alicia, saying she's a very underrated roster member. Like they think her promo skills and stuff have gotten when she mispronounces words on not on purpose, probably on purpose in her mind, but in her on the show, she's messing up names. And she did really stand out in the Wrestle House. I'm thinking maybe they're trying to get a rub from that good part that she did bring out in that show.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's okay. I feel like sometimes I don't know, she's too small. She's very small and thin, and I say that as someone who's very small and used to be thin, so it's okay. Now I'm small and fat, which is really weird looking, but I don't know. She just kind of. I mean, I feel like the knockouts is so ridiculously stacked that she kind of looks out of place sometimes.
Yeah, she kind of. To me, she's kind of like a less less athletic Spike Dudley. That's what she kind of feels like to me in the women's division.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's what I see. She's undersized, but yet she has the heart of a lion or whatever. She puts in pretty good moves, but not.
Maybe she should.
You're gonna go wow.
Maybe she could be the one who takes crazy bumps in matches.
Yeah, it goes through tables.
I don't want to see her get hurt, obviously. But
I know
people. But I mean, that's up. Mick Foley basically became a star because of basically, just going through shit. Yeah. But whatever. We'll see what happens with her. This was all right. Champions obviously won. Not sure what I was thinking there. Well, I thought it was non-champion, but okay. They did have some going for the gold things, which was pretty cool. Quick videos during the night. I am not a huge fan of the gauntlet for the gold just in this situation before Slammiversary, especially when they have so much time left.
Yeah, you talking about towards the end of the show? They had almost an hour to kill, right?
Well, yeah, I'm talking about the gauntlet for gold in general. I feel like it's I don't like having just a gauntlet to see who the next main challenger is for the biggest pay-per-view of the year.
Yeah, well, I was always a big fan of I know that you're going to be too popular with the fan base and everyone listening tonight, and probably not even you, but the World Title Series, I love that. I'm sorry. I think if we got the right pieces, it will work much better this time because we don't have a Grado or, we don't have any kind of buffoonery in this tournament if we were to have such a thing. I think they should plan something like that. Or Bound for Glory series next year.
I forgot about that. I forgot what that was exactly. What was that? Just a shorter version of the Bound for Glory series?
It was a point system. If you got a pinfall, you got more points, and if you won on a count out, you got less points, but you'd win. It's just a whole setup. At the end, you would whoever had the most points, and then they would face off, and then there'd be a two contestants going for the world title, and it wasn't very good for the fact that not that you can't have women in with the men. I'm not saying that, What I'm saying is, it's like it was bad pairing because like Grado would face this
Oh
one.
yeah, no, totally. Yeah, it was a bad. That was a Billy time.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Whatever. It was
somewhere
a.
around there or right before.
I think that was just a rough roster time, if I remember
Yeah, that was when
correctly.
James Storm even took to social media, and he goes, I don't know what the hell they were doing. He goes, I didn't even know what they were doing. He goes, no one told us it was a title series of any kind, and then I guess they must have just slapped, all the world title stuff on screen, and then they're like, oh, now we know what we're doing.
Yeah. So what did you think of the Gauntlet overall? Just as I'm sorry, wait, before we get to that, there was a cool thing with the Briscoes backstage, which goddamn, I
Oh yeah,
can't
once
say
again,
enough. How
cool
much I love the
promo from
Briscoes.
them.
Holy shit! Now you're a longtime Ring of Honor fan, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I date back when Davey Richards and they called him Die Hard Eddie Edwards then, and they'd always bring up about him separating the bone in his elbow, and he wrestled still into the night with that separated. I watched it way back when like Truth Martini had the House of Truth. I mean, so many people come in and out of Ring of Honor. That's how long ago I started watching it.
Okay, kind of random, but does Sanjay Dutt stick out as a Ring of Honor guy?
Overall, no. I do know he has ties. I did look it up. He does have some early ties to Ring of Honor, but they were so far long ago. The only way you're going to be able probably to relive them is if AEW gets a streaming service or whatever, and they have the
Yeah.
tapes.
Well,
I think that's the only way you're going to get to see those matches with Sanjay in there.
yeah, I was just randomly because he's basically like the Ring of Honor guy now on AEW, and it just seems very odd to me. But whatever. We are not here to talk about that stupid ass show. Also, sorry, I have a note here. Damn, Giselle is gorgeous. Hope I didn't need that note, but okay, let's move on. Okay, so the Gauntlet, man, I thought it was fun. I mean, just to be clear, I love gauntlets. I love pretty much every type of gimmick match. I mean, I'm excited for that. The women's, just talked about it. Jesus, blanket on the word. The women's, we just talked about the goddamn
Queen of the Mountain.
Queen of the Mountain. Okay, I'm excited for that. I mean, I love all kinds of shit like this. So this was fun. I mean, maybe a bit long. Maybe should have had like top 10 in there instead of top 20. But again, no big deal. A lot of people got to get on TV. Shark Boy came out. That was pretty awesome. Motor City Machine Guns. I'm not sure if I'm missing anybody that was interesting here. Black Taurus. Haven't seen him in a bit, I don't think.
Yeah, we didn't even get to see him come to the ring during commercial. They didn't even. I don't even think they bothered to show a package on Taurus.
Yeah, well, that's a problem they had. That's another thing.
Yeah.
And it kind of, I feel like it just all happened too quickly. Like if you
Yeah,
didn't
it was
know,
heavily edited. I know.
like, let's say you're not on Twitter and you just watch the show, you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna find out who's the number one contender tonight, and it's in one match, and I don't know, but no big deal though. Whatever. I'm not a writer. I'm sure this shit is hard. Macklin was there kind of near the end. I was really thinking Macklin was going to win, but then I was thinking he can't really lose the title yet,
Yeah, he turned out to be one of the final three, right?
Yeah, and Josh can't be losing that title for a while, I don't think.
No, I wouldn't think so. Just because of the current storyline is like he basically is telling anybody you can come in here, you stand up, and I'll knock you down. That's just kind of the way the storyline's going. I don't see him if he loses it. I don't see him losing it until at least Bound for Glory.
Yeah, no, definitely. And yeah, I mean, who knows what the hell's going on, because they just announced Kazarian will be, well, not just announced, maybe yesterday it was, that he'll be at one of the upcoming tapings, which is interesting because he was just re-signed by AEW as far as the world knows.
Kaz, yeah. I didn't know what you said at first. I didn't hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that on Kissimmee, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he's there tonight. Tonight he's there. I don't know if they're planning anything special for Saturday.
Okay, now I heard this from a source who I can't name, but let's just say I have a awesome little room out there with some hardcore fans, and supposedly they believe Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle, or they read, I don't know, maybe they will be coming back for a Nashville one night only TNA show that I think they postponed. during the pandemic?
Oh, of last year, yeah.
Or did they have it and it was just terrible? I'm not sure. I don't recall.
No, I don't recall anything.
No. They had a little. It was like a Jeff Jarrett just sitting around talking about TNA. That's all.
Oh, okay.
They were planning originally to have a show, but I think because of everything that happened, and they also mentioned there's a good chance AJ. And I mean, first I kind of laughed and then I was like, shit, yeah. They've been working. They kind of work with WWE, or at least they're friendly with WWE.
Yeah, because I mean, with the Mickey James swap, and then they let her use her theme for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I think it's like if AJ wants to do it, kind of thing. Then who knows?
I can honestly see it with the. I think right now WWE. I'm not trying to bash them, but I think right now, with their with the fans and stuff, kind of switching teams and going to AEW. I think WWE would be more willing to try something like that, at least for one night. It's not like Impact's asking for a set of tapings where he could get seriously injured, or it's just one match, one night. I could see it happening.
That's always a thing people don't really talk about, but I mean, yeah, you got to obviously worry about that. If you have if you got like a huge guy like AJ in your roster, it's tough. But again, it's just some talk that's out there, and who knows? But that would be cool if they did have that TNA show. I mean, they got a bunch of guys like Motor City Machine Guns. Well, you could maybe you can get Rude back. Even that would be nice. He's not doing much. You get Rude and Storm back, and yeah, who knows? But I don't even know if this is a real goddamn show out there. So
yeah, I can hear my son crying in the background. I'm sorry, everybody.
So yeah, I like AY winning. I think it's going to be fun. I thought the main event was fun. It all makes sense, and I think they just met. I think that's all they announced for. Oh shit! No, sorry, we missed Jay White and Phantasmo versus Josh and Ishii, which was awesome.
Oh yeah. The tag match between the two well, not factions, but they kind of like they could be Josh and Ishii feel like they could be part of a faction. That's how good they are.
Man, I love that Phantasmo. Oh my god, he's so much fun to watch.
Yeah, he is good. They mentioned during the show that it was the first time El Phantasmo was it faced Ishii or was it Alexander? I want to say Ishii. It was the first time he's faced him in a ring, I guess. So that was actually a historical match that, in case anybody out there didn't know that.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, I heard that part. I just can't remember what the connection is. I know somebody is. I'm pretty sure it's Phantasmo and Ishii first time, and that's with them in New Japan. So
obviously Ishii's older, but the guy, I think he's awesome character, and like it just works with his wrestling, and he's really fun to watch. And overall, another hell of an Impact. I say this all the time. Like I don't give grades because I feel like I would give Impact like a 9 every goddamn week.
Yeah,
8.5 to 9.5. But it's such a consistently good show. It's like kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's hard to go too low with anything they do because if there's a part of the show that isn't for everybody, that main event is always top tier or top shelf entertainment, and you can't really complain about much they do.
Yeah, no, they do a lot of good things. I'm not sure why people complain so much about them, but that's life, I guess. And
I did see somebody too complain about the budgetary things that Impact. They need to spend more money. If everybody thinks that they're going to spend more money, they're crazy. They're on a budget right now. And I think they still have a 5-year plan that is still going. So you can't expect them to be, renting out 5,000 seat arenas,
Seriously, to all the fans out there who think they're not spending enough money, send them some money.
Yeah, get some subscriptions to the Impact Plus or
buy 100 subscriptions and give them out to people if you all have so much money to throw around.
Well, and they act like YouTube is expensive for the insider. It's 99 cents and it's $4.99 for the Ultimate Insider. So I mean, that's even cheaper than the network.
Yeah, I mean, people still have the complaint. I guess it's understandable if you just have cable still. Like, there's a lot of people who just
Yeah, that's
still
true.
have, and they don't even understand that kind of thing, which I get. But whatever. I mean, it is incredibly easy to get on YouTube and whatever channels if they have them. I'm sure it's much better in Canada, it seems, but that sucks. And I mean, it would be nice if they just had like a cool, bigger network here in the States to have it
Oh
on.
yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I think it's just so hard to sell wrestling to a sand network because they don't just. It isn't like it used to be where like network execs are just willing to work with wrestling anymore either.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a good sign that Dark Side of the Ring didn't even get.
On Viceland.
Yeah, I mean, because like I know people that aren't wrestling fans that watch Dark Side of the Ring, so
Yeah, I seen they were having a problem with something somebody said. I think it was a AEW in Viceland. I seen some article. I can't remember what it was saying, but it sounded like they were at odds with it. Maybe AEW or one of the promotions.
no, I don't. It couldn't have been AEW because AEW actually did a
Oh,
skit.
I don't know. I know there was an article though that was circulating, something to do with Viceland and maybe a wrestler, maybe Cody. Might have been Cody going from AEW to
AEW actually had a Dark Side of the Ring. It was actually kind of funny. With
maybe that's what it was.
It was Jericho doing like MJF. It was just a whole bullshit thing to put over MJF, but it was kind of funny because they used the whole Dark Side of the Ring thing, but like people in the background doing the interviews and.
Yeah, I honestly I like MJF. He's probably my favorite heel in wrestling.
He's good. He got a crazy. If anybody gives a shit, he got a crazy pop the other night in Long Island, which my brother got tickets to and kind of forced me to go to an AEW show.
Yeah, I would have went too though. Probably with
Who doesn't go to a free show though?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was long as hell though. I mean, well, that's why I wanted to mention it. People bitch about Impact tapings. Remember that? Like when the Impact tapings were too long, but I never see it now. And they seriously, it could be 6-hour tapings.
Yeah.
Like it started at 6, I'm pretty sure, because we got there at 7, and I don't know, they were in the middle of Dark Elevation, which I forgot was a thing, and then they got to tape Dark after Rampage, so they do Elevation, Dynamite, Rampage, and then Dark again. So I don't know, it's at least 5 hours. Like, I don't know, it's crazy. Or I'm old. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I have issues sleeping, so maybe I should go to an AEW show. Maybe
that would
sleeping.
Definitely help you out. I could have fell asleep an hour into Dynamite. Thank God Moxley popped out like 5 feet away from me.
Yeah, because he has a really loud theme and everything too.
I'm like, what the fuck is happening? My brother's like, turn around, it's Moxley. I could have grabbed him. Yeah. That's about it. What do we got coming up next?
Oh, in terms of like tapings, or
is there another Impact Plus special coming?
I
guess they just had 2 of them pretty quick, so maybe not.
Yeah, I think what it is June 19th or Slammiversary, and then there was mention of in July.
Against All Odds, was it?
Yeah, Against All Odds, and then they were supposed to have a double night of tapings, which would give us 4 weeks of tapings, and that would take us like into sometime in August or close to that. And it's being reported as the Coca-Cola Roxy Amphitheater, I think that's what it was. It's not been official, but that's what I seen. Fightful Events or something.com or something was mentioning something about that. Like you got to have a kind of like with PW Insider, you have to have that premiere.
Fightful has an event section now.
Yeah,
they update their event section. Those son of a bitches. Well, glad I can help the world. All right. Well, I guess that's about it. We'll be back with next week.
Yeah, the final week for in Kentucky.
Oh, it is. So they only do okay, so that's cool. So only 2 weeks plus the
Yeah,
show, and
it's
then they got
2 weeks. And I'm kind of glad it is. I kind of feel that the crowd's kind of burnt out by Impact at this point.
yeah, and that
Not
wasn't
a
a
knock on them. It's just it's a lot. It's a lot of TV. You know, it's a lot of TV.
yeah. I totally get it. I mean, I haven't gone to a show in like a decade, and I went, and honestly, I mean, again, I'm old, I'm in my 40s, but I was like dead after like an hour. I don't like I was leaving. I'm looking at these people, and like they're still going crazy, and it's like 5 hours in. I'm like, holy shit! I wish.
Yeah, and then Kissimmee is supposed to be a whole month worth of shows, I believe, 13th and 14th, with
Just in
the
case.
special attraction that Kazarian's going to be at tonight's taping.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, are they just going to ignore AEW like they kind of did when Daniels showed up? Is Kazarian popping in? Is Kazarian going to get Daniels' title shot? Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they pull something out of the ordinary the next night too. Honestly.
I don't know if Daniels can't wrestle anymore with his eye, but God, I'd love to see them together. Even just let Daniels do the talking for Kazarian.
Oh yeah, that's right. That did happen. Didn't that happen at the hands of Dark Order or something?
I don't know when the hell that happened. Jesus, it looks like he has one eye.
Yeah, I think that happened at the hands of the Dark Order. I'm not sure. I mean, it was an accident, of course, but
yeah,
that's still though with the eye. I mean, look how close Eddie Edwards came to losing his eye.
Yeah, scary sport. Scary, whatever the hell people call it. All right, that's about it. That's it for us this week. Damn it, I forgot the like and subscribe thing at the beginning. Son of a bitch. All right, next time I'll get it. Peace out, everybody. Don't forget to, well, no one's here now, but if you are here, check out Gary's channel.
Yeah, Gary's Movie Emporium. It's not currently running. It's kind of on hiatus. I don't really know what I want to do. I kind of love this Impact stuff.
Check out his old stuff.
Yeah. Once I get my life back in order a little bit, I might try to get the channel back up and running. I don't know. I got a 3-year-old son with autism, so it's not really ideal to run a channel until he's kind of like in school or, has some kind of therapy or.
Yeah, it's got to be crazy rough.
Yeah, it is because, you don't know what he's crying about,
Yeah.
And it's rough because he can't speak yet because he does have some learning disabilities.
Well, now we are leaving people on a real downer.
Sorry.
Sorry. Everyone out there, let's all pray for Gary. If you do, that's a rough thing to deal with, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's not fun.
And if you don't give a shit, well, that's life.
Yeah, that would be me. A lot of people don't care about what goes on with me.
Please like and subscribe this video. Thanks. And we'll be back soon.
We'll be back.